Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Internals Greater Than External Calming the Chaos Within channel. Please like and subscribe. I don't know why I say that. I didn't really want to make a video today. I really have been procrastinating on it. I haven't been able to come up with like a great subject. So I was going to do, I've already done the subconscious stuff and a lot of the stuff that I'm really interested in. And then I was going to do another chapter of the book, but I decided to save that for another time. And I decided that I want to actually let me move this a little closer, today's video on routines. And I'm very routine averse, and I'll tell you why a little bit later, but let me explain why routines are good for you. So I've explained in the past about going into your subconscious because your brain loves to create programs that run automatically. Your brain likes to be lazy. So once it likes to create these processes that you repeat and it doesn't have to think about it. That's why like 95 to 97% of the things that you do, think, or say are subconscious. So with that in mind, we've talked about going back and finding some of these limiting beliefs and limiting programs that we've created, oftentimes around like moments of trauma and life or death situations and things like that. These neural pathways that get created, and even if you've ever driven to work the same route back and forth, and zoned out during that drive and not really remembered a stretch of it or any of it sometimes, or if you've had to deviate from your routine, like let's say on your way home you have to stop at the store. You remind yourself to stop at the store, but it's not your normal routine, so you blow past the store and end up in your driveway like, man, I got to go to the store, or at least I did. So I think I just swallowed a bug too. Wow, protein. So, anyways, before I was so rudely interrupted by that little bug, um, routines, they are good for you. And knowing that your brain likes to set those routines up, you can take advantage of that and you can mindfully create neural pathways and new habits that are beneficial for you. And that's what I'm talking about with like the gratitude practice and the affirmations and the mission statement and stuff like that creates new neural pathways and new processes that you get to create instead of just running ones that have been created in the past that no longer serve you. So for me, though, the reason why I'm averse to routine so much is because when I was in Iraq, the first people got killed. Um, it was because of a mistake because we patterned ourselves. So we made a routine where we left the base at the same time, took the same route, and we're going to the same destination. And so on the second or third time that we did that, there was an IED waiting for us. And that's how Iraq was. They would watch you, they would watch your tactics and your standard operating procedures, knowing that soldiers are very, very patterned and very in routines. So they would watch, and you would have to do things very randomly. So if you turned around at a certain point, you would have to go at least 100 meters beyond or before that, and turn around somewhere else. When you go underneath an overpass, you switch lanes in case there's somebody going to drop a grenade um, onto your vehicle. You try to alternate speeds a little bit in your convoy instead of just doing the same speed all the time. Um, little tiny details like that that you have to think about not patterning yourself. So that's so deeply ingrained in me that even now when I drive, there's like three different ways you can get to my house or to town. And when I get to one of the checkpoint, or one of the points where it's a decision point, I don't know which way I'm going until I get there, and then I just make a decision on whatever I feel. And it's not necessarily like I went route one the last time, so this time I'm going to go route two, and next time I'm going to go route three, and then, you know, whatever. I just don't take the same route every time. No, it's a complete random, like I might take that route twice. I might, you know, go a different route, and it's not necessarily, there's not a pattern to it. Um, it's pretty crazy. That thing I haven't really tried to fix because it's kind of funny. I don't really mind it that much, but it is the reason why is kind of, you know, is because it was a neural pathway that was created around a life or death situation, and so it feels unsafe for me to have routines. And but it's very beneficial now in the environment that I'm in to have a routine. It's not unsafe. It's beneficial. It's good for me. And so I've really had to work on um, that that fear of a routine and reframe it and keep telling myself that it's good for me and this is what I need to do. So I have a morning routine now where I wake up and I within the first hour that you wake up and the first hour before you go to sleep, your brain is producing brain waves that are more suggestible. Your brain's more suggestible at that time. So within the first hour that I wake up, I do um, my positive affirmations. And then I do gratitude. And then I do some deep breathing. And I usually do that in the shower. And then when I get out of the shower, I do some push ups and some squats. And then I make my bed and do the dishes. I get dressed too. I don't do all that naked. Maybe I do. You don't know. And I do the dishes. And then I have two chores knocked off the list. I have control of my morning. My brain's at ease. It's in autopilot. I don't have to think. And at first, you know, it's difficult. You're not going to add all of those elements in at once. It's going to be overwhelming. So just do one thing at a time. Wake up, make your bed for a week or two. And then once you get into the habit of doing that, then, um, you know, add something else in like a gratitude practice or whatever you're going to do. So I have a morning routine. And then I also have an exercise routine beyond the push-ups and air squats that I do in the morning. I also go to the gym 3 times a week, and I try to have set days. So basketball usually is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I try to go to the gym now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if I can't make it, I try to still at least get 3 days in the week. Um, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, try to go to the gym and work out. And then also, but with the working out, you don't want to do the same routine. You want to confuse your muscles. That's a weird part. So you don't want to do the same exercises every time you go to the gym. You want to switch those up. But that's a different video. Anyways, so I do exercising. I have a routine for that. It's good for your mental and physical health. And it's something that I am building a routine throughout my week. It's consistency. It helps with mental health and physical health as well. And then um, beyond that, I try to go for walks in the morning. And I also, this is something I forgot to mention. In the morning, I try to get up and do grounding or earthing or whatever. It's a hippie thing, but I go barefoot, make sure I look for ormigas or ants. The fire ants are nuts here. So I go and I take my flip flops off and I stand barefoot in the grass, and I get sunlight in my eyes. Again, this is probably after I get out of the shower and do my push ups and sit ups. And I do that unless it's like pouring rain. And also in the shower at the end, I turn the shower to ice cold for like 30 seconds or so. Um, and those things all are neuroscience backed, and they get your body releasing chemicals that are good for you and um, beneficial. So having these routines is pretty important. And your brain loves to create them and use them, but a lot of times we don't have control over it because we're not really aware of it. But if you can tap into that and mindfully build these habits and routines yourself instead of letting your subconscious do it around traumatic and high emotion events, then it's going to benefit you more because it's, the other part of it besides identifying and unwinding the old neural pathways that no longer serve you. You also want to add in new ones. And like I said, it's difficult for me to do, but still, even with sleep, your circadian rhythm, going to sleep at the same time every night and having like a bedtime routine where you stop with devices like a half hour before you go to bed or an hour before you go to bed, and you don't have your device in the room, or if you have it in the room, you have it face down and like out of reach, so that maybe when your alarm goes off, you can't hit snooze. You got to get up and go get it and get out of bed to go hit snooze. And by that time, you'll be up. So having a consistent bedtime and a consistent wake up time also helps you get deeper sleep. It helps you get more rest and recuperation. Um, it's beneficial, again, for your mental and physical health. So all of these things probably seem boring, but they're good to have. And it's also, though, it's good to know that that you don't need to rely on these things. Like, let's say you go on a vacation or something like that. Like, I'm not going to be doing everything in my morning routine and my evening routine that I normally do, but I still do most of it. You know what I mean? Like, I might not be going and doing the grounding and whatever. I don't know. I do most of it. I would do the push-ups and the squats and stuff when I'm on vacation, but I try to stick to my routine, and it helps me feel more at ease, less stress, less anxiety. Um, and it used to make me just, I didn't like it. I hate it. But I had to reframe that again, like I said, into it's not in that environment. And so getting more used to it is actually helping me to, like I said, be more at ease and more calm in the mornings, like waking up and not having to think about what am I going to do, or, there's something to, I used to, and there's what is it, the book about like make your bed or something like that. Um, I used to hate making the bed, like the military make you make your bed. But I'm like, I'm just going to get in it later and mess it up. So why am I going to make it? And I really was against that for a long time for some whatever stupid reason. I don't know. I just didn't like making the bed. And now that I've started doing it, I actually like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing it done. It's something that I check off my list, and you know, I feel like a small sense of accomplishment just from making the bed. And and then I go and do the dishes. And so it's only me, so there's not a lot of dishes, but sometimes I cook a lot. And when I cook, I just tornado in the kitchen with all the prep dishes that I use. People used to hate cleaning up after me when I when I get in the kitchen. But I always say, if the food's bad, I'll clean up. And it's never bad. So that's my journey through routine and um, implementing more routine into my life has bettered the quality of it, and it's helped me to um, that, and then having the purpose with the mission statement. Those things have really helped me to have less depression, less anxiety, and overall feel better about myself, have more energy, more clarity. So if you're very random, if you don't have much of a routine and you're not much into routines, maybe this will convert you. Try it out. It works. It's neuroscience backed. That's the thing for me. Like a lot of this stuff, I'm like, that's like some woohoo feel good stuff, but a lot of the stuff is actually backed by neuroscience, and there's chemicals that are released. It's been studied where your brain's on, being scanned while these things are happening, and so it's very powerful to understand that's happening, and it's not just like making yourself feel good. It's actually changing your physiology and the chemistry of your body and how that affects how you feel and how you operate. So give it a try. And thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. Till the next one.